Yeah, looking forward to our next opportunity on the schedule. Big 12 road game, Iowa State. Uh, I told the guys yesterday in preparation, just told them this a lot. Just feel bad for those guys in a lot of ways because of the COVID, not having the kind of the normal college experience. A lot of respect for our players and all college basketball players, all the sacrifices these guys have made. These guys showing a lot of discipline. Like normal college guy can't really go out to eat, masked up at all times. So yesterday I was just telling them I feel kind of bad they don't get to play in the normal Iowa State Hilton Coliseum, one of the all-time great venues in college basketball, because the fans won't be sold out or anything, but still a great opportunity to play in front of one of the most historic places in college basketball, just a cool college town and venue. So a place that we always look forward to going just because of it's a basketball situation. This year's Iowa State team, I think, is really good. They've been so close. You guys know how I feel about January conference games. Not till February. Still, in my opinion, it really starts separating. But Iowa State's getting better with each game. They didn't have the normal non-conference schedule that some of us had because of COVID shutdown games. But they played a lot of really good basketball. So I think they've got several all-conference players on their team, maybe some future NBA guys. So we'll have to play our best 40 of the year to get our second Big 12 road win. That's our objective. Big week of practice for us with a couple days to get better before this next game.
All right, so just a reminder, raise your hand. Ben Golan, only one with hand up. Ben?
Coach, how do you think TJ Shannon handled the lineup change from last game? Obviously, he had a very good game, and then do you anticipate the same lineup against Iowa State?
Yeah, we talked about the TJ deal, right? We don't spend a lot of time thinking about our starting lineup on our best teams, which I think this team has a chance to be in that conversation. We got a long ways to go. We're a work in progress, but very, very high expectations around here. We like to have what we call 7-8 starters, and then we really try to place value on that six-man role. Whether it be a Zaire Smith for a while or even a Jarrett Culver early in his career. Brandon Francis did a great job his senior year. I mean, Brandon was a starter in my mind. So a lot of things go into it. A, we don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. B, we feel like we've got 7 or 8 starters. Then we change things up from time to time. I thought TJ did great. One of the most selfless, unselfish acts I've ever seen by really a young player, just a sophomore, right? But to come to me, the head coach, and say, Coach, I don't care about starting or whatever. I want to do what this team needs. So all that stuff was documented last week. It was real. In terms of the lineup for this week, we're not at the point yet where we are deciding that. It's a big practice day for us here. Tomorrow we'll have a chance to practice before we travel. And I'm not sure what we'll do with the lineup. I know we don't appear to be one of these teams that's just dead set in our 5 senior lineup for the rest of the season. I think it's going to continue to change, based on what we got to do for our team to be the best team we can be.
And then, with a couple of players, leaving the program this year, just talking about recruiting, do you anticipate maybe signing another high school commit, to go along with Jalen Tyson, or, do you still see him being the only one high school recruit of this class?
No, we'll definitely add recruits to this class. We do that every year. We've never had a class where we weren't involved in spring recruiting. Don't in terms of like freshmen versus other players, we're trying to get the best players we can. We're trying to compete for Big 12 championships. We're trying to win the national championship. We're trying to get back to the Final Four. We're trying to have a team where we have NBA players on the roster. So recruiting is always going to be about getting talent, number one, and then talent that fits. And so I anticipate us being active in spring recruiting, but that has nothing to do with a couple of departures we've had from our roster. That was always the plan.
Go to Joe. Joe, you there, Joe? Carlos, can you hear me? Or Joe?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Chris, I know obviously the elephant in the room, Amari leaving the program recently. I guess how do you kind of divvy up some of the minutes where he was averaging those 18 points? Do you kind of see Tyreek getting some extra? Do you kind of see Buzo maybe getting something? Or I guess how do you kind of see that kind of affecting the rotation a little bit there?
Yeah, I think Amari was getting good playing time as a freshman. Carlos, you said 18 points. I don't think that's what you meant. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, opportunity comes in different forms. One of the main ways it comes is when you earn time in practice and in game performance and in preparation performance. So there's always a relationship in all sports, including college basketball, between results and opportunity. We continue to really evaluate in practice. We don't have a lot of practices during the season, but we still have practices. Day before the game is normally kind of light, but you still do enough where there's real evaluation going on. On a day like today is always a good day for coaches. Today's going to be a great day because we have a chance to really go, game speed practice. Able to give the guys off yesterday from team practice. We know we travel tomorrow. So a day like today is one of those days in the pocket of time in the season where you have a practice where you can really evaluate. So there's that way where you play your way into better opportunity. Also, we've seen it time from time, and it's unfortunate, but maybe injuries. A guy's out for a while, it presents an opportunity. I was telling some guys the other day, Dallas Cowboy fan, no secret about it. Our quarterback Dak, I think he got his opportunity through some different factors. QB1 goes down, you get an opportunity, you roll with it. I know Romo did the same thing in his career. So then thirdly, it's just a part of basketball. You got changes on your roster during the season. None of us like that, but it happens. It's a reality in our sport, and absolutely that creates opportunity for other players. And we have some players that are deserving of that opportunity, no doubt about it. I mean, I wish we had 300 minutes in a college game and not the 200 minutes at the 5 spots at 40, because there's some guys that we've been wanting to play more, but that's no different than any coach or any program. So, this will be an opportunity for some other guys to get some playing time, and I think that will be a positive thing that comes out of this situation.
Those guys, how have you seen Tyreek step in, especially as a shot blocker? Not only that, but just kind of seeing him kind of develop his offensive game so far over the last few games.
I think Tariq's playing well per minute played. I want to get Reek some more time. I told him that after, let me get my game straight here. Oklahoma State, home game. Reek played well in his minutes. This is all about production per minute played, and Reek is deserving of more minutes. But sometimes you got to wait your time, and it's not just as easy as, I want to play Reek more. Things have to kind of work out. And Reek's doing everything he's supposed to do. I thought he played well last game against Kansas State. Reek is on our minds. We need to play him more. College basketball is such a 4-guard game now. Everybody in our league, including West Virginia now and Kansas. So we got to figure out a way to play Marcus and Reek together. We got to figure out a way to play Vlad with those guys. So, again, guys, our team's a work in progress. But there's no doubt about it. We have a lot of confidence in Reek. He's playing well. We look for his role to increase as the season goes on. He's done a great job with the minutes he's played to show that he's deserving of more.
A guy that's been playing well, Iowa State, Solomon Young, posted posing problems for you. How do you kind of slow him down, a guy that's averaging double figures right now and a guy that's been a very good mainstay for the Cyclones?
Yeah, Carlos, I think Solomon's been here since you and I have been here. He seems like this is his 9th year in the Big 12. So he's one of our kind of favorite players. You kind of pull for guys. You watch so much film. You really know the opposing players in some ways on film as much as you know yours. So, we've had some great battles with Iowa State. And we've won some games. We've come up short in some games. We've had some epic Big 12 battles. Solomon's had some great games against us. I've always respect the player that runs his own race and stays committed to the process. Sometimes for these really talented college players, the race is shorter than others. But Solomon, man, he's just gotten better every year, Carlos. He's shooting face-up jump shots now. He's comfortable on both shoulders. doing some things defensively he hasn't done in the past. So he's another one of the great Big 12 players that's improved. I'm not looking forward to coaching against him on Saturday, but I do have a lot of respect for him. He's a guy that our staff really respects.
Last one from me. I know you mentioned it. Just going to Hilton without that normal crowd, how have you prepared the guys for that? Or is there really any way to prepare for something like that to where you're so used to maybe a very raucous crowd and then all of a sudden you're not used to something like that?
Yeah, we've tried. We've tried. I think a coach's job, in one or two sentences, is to give your team the best chance to win, and part of that is preparation. So, absolutely, we talk about it. To not do that, I think, will be a mistake. I mean, our players, Big 12 college players, former pro guys, they're used to playing in front of these great environments, and I think it's one of the things that's really changed college basketball. I mean, it's interesting. Look at how many road teams are winning now. I don't think that's a coincidence. Our game's kind of changed a little bit. So we talk to our guys a lot about trying to manufacture our own energy, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that. We've had some great team unity on the bench. We can always get better, but I think for the most part, our guys have done a good job, in these games, manufacturing our own energy.
Let's go back to Joe.
Yeah, Coach, back to Namari. His decision to leave the program, was that 100% his decision, or were there any other factors in that?
I don't be real careful here. It's college basketball. I don't want to speak for Namari. I would tell you there's always, two sets of reality. Well, what I would say is yes, it was Namari's decision to leave the program. We wish him the best. You hope that every player that you have a chance to coach, everything just works out perfect and everything just goes perfectly. And, we just wish Amari the best. I hope he finds the perfect situation that he's looking for. 10:37 this morning, I got a text from Amari that was very gracious and nice and professional and really just solidified my opinion of him as a person, first class. We were practicing this morning at 11, so I didn't get that text until later on, and I'm going to try to return that text later today just to make sure that the things that Amari said to me are returned to him and make sure that he understands how I feel about him like he told me how he feels about me. So I can't speak for him, but I can tell you that we appreciate his time in our program, and we wish him the best. We really do.
Okay, and then my last one on this. Obviously, Coach, you put an awful lot of time and effort into recruiting Namari, and the fact that it didn't work out for whatever reason, is that going to have any effect on your recruiting strategy and approach in the future?
No, Joe, we've been doing this for close to 30 years now. Every guy on our roster, we put a lot of time and effort into recruiting. Recruiting's about relationships. Again, I wish it was 100% science and success rate that it worked out for the student athlete and their family, and as well as the coach and the college program. But we've been doing this for a long time. So to answer your question, no, we're going to continue to try to recruit the best players in the country that want to play team basketball, that want to get an education, that want to play for the Double T, that want to work every day and chase dreams of being NBA players. That want to run their own race, that want to understand that it's a process, that want to be on a team where it's a relationship-based locker room, that want to be on a team where, we know we're not perfect. We've never said we're perfect, but we like to have a family atmosphere where we can get through things in an open, dialogue. So we're not going to change the way we recruit at all. So to answer that question, no.
Coach, when, this is obviously the second time something like this has happened this season, but how do you, approach that and speak with, the players that are still currently on the team about these issues when, someone transfers in the middle of the year?
Yeah, guys, we got Iowa State here on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and I think we've already talked about Namari, and I've been really, clear with that. And And so, you know, I want to talk about the guys that are on our team, and we'll talk about our next game, and I want to talk about Texas Tech. Also want to show you guys the respect that we always do. But what I would tell you is we have a truth-telling atmosphere in our team. Everything we put out front and center, the good times and the tough times. So this will be no different. We really appreciate Amari's time in our program. We wish it would have worked out different, just like I'm sure he does, even though I don't want to speak for him. But with our team, we address everything in the same way, in an open, honest, put it out there way. But the most important thing going on right now, Ron, is we're in the Big 12, and we're 2-2, and we play Iowa State at 3 o'clock on Saturday. So if anybody has a question about our team or about Iowa State, and I think I've got a few more minutes. Other than that, I think there's not much more to talk about with Amari. We wish him the best. We really do.